In my opinion, one of the biggest myths in the entire fitness industry is that when we have tight hamstrings, or we're sensing tension in our hamstrings, or we have a anterior pelvic orientation, then we should stretch our hamstrings to relieve tension off of them, which makes sense on the surface, right? But in my opinion, that's completely counterintuitive to what we're trying to accomplish with bringing the pelvis back into a neutral orientation. And here's why. Because every muscle should have a degree of slack in it. It shouldn't be taut, but it shouldn't be very loose. It should just be a little bit of slack. But when the pelvis comes forward, then the hamstring muscle goes under stretch. So your hamstrings aren't necessarily tight because they're short. It's tight because they're long and the slack is being taken out of them because they attach right here. So a forward pelvis will be stretching out those hamstrings. So what we want to do instead is we actually want to turn on the hamstrings in many circumstances, because that is going to allow the pelvis to come back, because we have these upper hamstring fibers right here, which are responsible for pulling back on this pelvis and restoring what we call hip extension. If we can do that, then we will take the hamstring from this lengthened out eccentric state and restore it to more of a neutral orientation with a resting length tension relationship where the hamstring isn't under a constant stretch. An exercise we can do to help with this is take two books that are about 2 inches thick, put them right next to each other, and then get in a glute bridge position like this. And then keep your knees in line with your toes, reach down for your heels, and then what you want to do is imagine there's a bug underneath your low back. Crush the bug and then slightly tuck your hips off of the floor. Stay nice and relaxed. I'm only going about like 5 out of 10 effort. Let your head relax back. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth until you feel your side abs a little bit, and then just repeat the process for about 5 to 10 breaths like this. You'll feel a ton of hamstrings and you'll feel a little bit of abs. That's good because those are the two muscles that help bring that pelvis back. I just wanted to end by saying I don't think there's anything wrong with stretching inherently. It can be a good tool in the toolbox. But sometimes just stretching a muscle can be treating the symptom and not the root cause. Understanding how position of joints and the skeleton has an influence on the actual muscle orientation itself can often lead us to understanding why that muscle is tight in the first place.